What's up, Fragrance Connoisseurs? It's your host, Charm City, and welcome to the channel, the Fragrance Connoisseurs. Today we're going to go into some of the latest craze, and that is gourmand fragrances. And as some people like to say, you smell like a snack. So we wanted to go through some of the best fragrances that I have in my collection that have a gourmand type feel and basically make you smell edible. A lot of women like this, a lot of people like this, just not just women. The feeling of having that kind of gourmand food or dessert snack type feel. I didn't start off with a lot of gourmand fragrances, but as my collection grew, I started adding to the collection more and more gourmand type fragrances. And what I can tell you is they get a very interesting reaction to people in the field. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I ask you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I go through different fragrances, how they are experienced in the air and when you wear them, and give you some fragrance choices that not everyone is bringing up on a regular rotation. Hope you like it, but we're going to go in today on some gourmand fragrances smelling like a snack, and just stick with me after station identification and we'll get into it. It'll be fun. Alright, Fragrance Connoisseurs, we're back. As I said, we're going to go through 10 and I'm going to give you at least one honorable mention or one extra one. So it'll be 11 gourmand fragrances that we will have in a collection. I'll give you some of the notes, but basically I want to give you what kind of vibe they give to me and what you can kind of relate it to in the food, dessert, snack realm. Always remember, do not put a fragrance somewhere where you want somebody to nibble on. So these are not edible fragrances, even though they smell edible. So I'm sure you know, but just a reminder, if you want somebody to nibble on your neck, put the fragrance on kind of like your clavicle or the back of the head to give that same smell, but not to impede someone from being able to nibble the area that you want to be nibbled on. I will leave it at that, but we will get into it. And like I said, a little bit about the notes, more about what it gives you kind of an overall vibe. And we'll go into one of the first ones that I have, and that would be Resala by Arabian Oud. Pretty interesting bottle. One thing I don't necessarily, there's a good and a bad with this. Arabian Oud, all of their bottles are non-standard and kind of unique, but that's also in a bad way. If you have a lot of a similar house, you would like to be able to line those fragrances up. However, the juice in this is incredible. This is a awesome fragrance, and basically it takes a very sweet woody oud and marries it up with some dark chocolate basically and roses, and it just is like a Middle Eastern dessert. That's what you get. You're gonna get a sweet syrupy quality, and it's reminiscent of Middle Eastern desserts, and it has kind of date-like honey and caramelized sugar with some spiciness, maybe evoking what I would say a baklava would be like. So this is nuclear. It will last forever. If you spray it on your skin, you will still be able to smell it the next day. It definitely projects for 3 to 4 hours, a lot further than what you would say. It's a room filler than what you may think. So a few sprays will go a long way, but it is a very deep, dark, mysterious scent that marries an edible character and even integrates an oud that does not take away from the gourmand feel. Chocolate, rose petals, woody notes, a sweet vanilla, and a saffron. Well worth it. You should check it out. Resala by Arabian Oud. The next one will be one that is not spoken a lot about. And let me see, I do my suits interpretation to kind of clean off this bottle. And this is Kisses Rain Labios Rotos by Renier. So Kisses Rain Labios Rotos is basically a flanker. And there was an earlier one, just Kisses Rain. However, this was kind of reformulated. I was told, I don't know for exactly, like the original one did not last as long. That's what I was told. But then some people say that they like the original formulation better. However, this is an awesome formulation. To me, this gives you kind of a vibe of cinnamon cookies or like cinnamon sugar cookies. And it has kind of a coffee and cream type vibe that goes around this effect of basic cinnamon cookies. Really nice. If you want to get into notes, it's very aromatic with cardamom, has a good dose of kind of coconut, jasmine. It's got some almond and some nutty heliotrope that also reminds you of almond. Coffee. Does have oud, but again, this is not a kind of oud that would take it out of the gourmand rum. It has sandalwood, and in the base, it's gonna give you a sweet vanilla, kind of structured resinous tonka bean that also gives you kind of a vanilla type feel, and it has a sweet chocolate-like patchouli. Really nice. Again, cinnamon cookies, cinnamon sugar cookie type vibe. Very nice. And Renier. This is not at discounters, but you can get it from someplace, I think like Lucky Scent or something like that. But this is a great one. I picked this one up at the Dallas Scent Room. So shout out to the Dallas Scent Room. The next one we'll go with is Bodacious. Bodacious by Boadicea the Victorious. So Bodacious just reminds me of kind of sweet, syrupy, boozy, dark cherry. It is an exceptional fragrance. To me, it's my favorite cherry fragrance that I have. It is going to just give you kind of like a boozy, dark cherry, almost kind of like a dark cherry liqueur. And it is an amazing fragrance. Always get compliments with it. Something that you will definitely have longevity when you wear it. It does project very well, and Boadicea just does a really good job with this one. I don't know that this is in any way inspired by anything else, but it is an exceptional cherry fragrance. The best cherry fragrance that I've had my nose on it, at least. And you're gonna get the cherry, you're gonna get cognac, almonds and clove, then nutty heliotrope that also has that almond type smell, some white florals, and then some rose, but then it's a light, very blended tobacco, so it does not really have an outwardly tobacco dominant type vibe. And then you get, of course, the vanilla and tonka bean, which you're going to see a whole lot in this array of gourmand fragrances. Vanilla and tonka bean is something that are in there a lot of times. Woods and then musk. Awesome fragrance, one that I highly recommend. The next one we will go with is Althair. Althair by Parfums de Marly. Now Althair is a very nice fragrance. At the beginning, I think Parfums de Marly didn't get as much shine. They did get some hype with it. I was one of the first people on YouTube to get it and actually do a review on it. It was a very nice fragrance. Was glad I got it. It gives you kind of like a creamy vanilla custard with like caramel and praline type vibe. It just reminds me of the holidays. If you wear this between Thanksgiving and New Year's, this is a perfect fragrance for that. It is spicy. It's gonna give you a good dose of spice, and then have, some people say it's like a pumpkin spice latte. It gives you a good dose of spice on the opening, and then it's creamy, and it really shines with the main note that they have is bourbon vanilla. So if you want to have that holiday type vibe, I think you can't go wrong with this. Opens with cinnamon, cardamom, and bourbon vanilla and elemi, gives you kind of resonance feel in the mid, praline, musk, guaiac wood, tonka bean, and candied almond in the base. This is a wonderful fragrance, another gourmand that people are going to resonate with and love a whole lot. The next one we will go with, and that would be Mashumaro. Mashumaro by Unique Luxury. Now Mashumaro is, to me, it's very spicy and it's very sweet. It has toasted marshmallow mixed with caramel and spices. The toasted marshmallow is very nice. It has a lactonic feel as well, so it's creamy. Toasted marshmallow has spices. You think of a Middle Eastern dessert. It's a very rich Middle Eastern dessert. Definitely one that I would say you should try. Some people, the spiciness is just too much for them. However, it is one of my favorite gourmand fragrances. This is another one that's gonna last 12 plus hours on skin and is a very nice, rich dessert snack-like feel. Most of the people who I have met or that have encountered this while I was wearing it in public loved it. Asked what I was wearing. It does smell unique. It does smell spicy, and it does have a very gourmand dessert-like feel. The things you're gonna get: marshmallow. There is some smokiness. It has some incense. That gives you that toasted marshmallow type feel. It's got caramel, cashmere wood, praline, milk, vanilla, and then some florals like lily of valley and rose. This is an incredible fragrance. If you have not tried anything from Unique Luxury, I suggest you give them a try. Great house. They have another one, Crush on Me, that takes that caramel part of this, and it's not as spicy and kind of as intimidating as this one might be. But another one, if you wanted to dial it down just a little bit from this, but I think this is an exceptional choice, and you will smell like a snack, and they will be nibbling. The next one that I'll go with, this is Bengale Rouge. Let's see if it can get there, by Papillon. This is named after a Bengali tiger, and it has a very spicy, interesting honey vanilla type mix. This is another one that to me has got a really strong Middle Eastern vibe, but it is a very sweet, silky honey that is just kind of like when you see in the pictures of honey just kind of dripping down or pouring down from something. This is decadent. This is really, it is supposed to be after the whole kind of a thing of a tiger that is stealthy, crouching, and they have a little bit of animalic in it, but not much. Most of it is gourmand sweetness. This one is a very good spicy gourmand fragrance. This is another one. Doesn't smell like Mashumaro, doesn't smell like Althair. It is rich in its own way. The honey really does it right. It's a raw organic honey, and this is one that you won't see everybody talk about. Papillon is a house that is not all over the place, but I truly recommend you getting your nose on this one, Bengale Rouge. It is named after the Bengale tiger. So it has a very nice resinous, spicy myrrh, honey, structured resinous tonka bean, vanilla, Turkish rose, and sandalwood. This is an exceptional fragrance, one that people should be talking about more, but they aren't. But here you go, Bengale Rouge by Papillon. Next, we'll talk about one of my favorite vanilla fragrances, and this is Vanille Havane from Les Indémodables. Now I also have Oud, which is another, it's a Vanille Havane flanker, but it has Oud added in it. That kind of takes it out of the gourmand realm into kind of like a semi-gourmand. But what this does is this takes vanilla and it gives you more of a vanilla bean type faucet. So this is the facet that it gives to you is vanilla bean. And vanilla bean is quite deep, it's dark, it has a lot of richness to it. And vanilla bean is not just kind of like that syrupy sweet vanilla or the vanilla icing. I commonly say that it has a boozy tinge to it when you get it like vanilla extract. You think about it, it has like a kind of a tobacco feel, has kind of a boozy feel, and it also has kind of like a chocolate cacao type feel. And what this does is it takes that vanilla and gives it all the structure what you would get in a real natural organic vanilla. So you're gonna have a rum type note in it, you're gonna have tobacco, you're gonna have cacao, and then it merges with that vanilla, gives it a lot of structure. It kind of is dense in that when you put it on, when it starts to dry down, it gives you like a chocolate infused kind of cake type vibe. It's a very nice fragrance, a lot of compliments with it. Vanille Havane is one that I recommend you get your nose on. So this one, again, tobacco, cacao, rum, vanilla, some dried fruits, amber, leather, and floral notes. But what it gives you is just that kind of feel. Next one, we'll go to one of my favorites from the liquor collection, and this is Angel Share by Kilian. Now Angel Share, everybody knows about it. This is basically just kind of one of those ones that is very gourmand, very nice. It's sweet, it gives you a boozy apple pie type feel. It's got cognac in the top, cinnamon, and it really has oak in it, so cinnamon, oak. It has a very good vanilla, praline, and sandalwood in the base. So it's sweet, it's gourmand, but that oak and that booze really gives it a very nice blend. I also have the flanker, Paradise, that I have talked about on the channel. And that one is not as gourmand as this one. There's a Bulgarian rose, and then there's more woodiness. It takes away from some of the sweetness in the flanker of Angel Share Paradise. But this is a gourmand lover. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance in my opinion. It's one of my most complimented fragrances and one of the few fragrances in my collection that I had to refill. So I refilled this one and it is well worth the price of admission. The new one is nice as well. If you don't want as much gourmand in the deep dry down to get closer together, but it gives a raspberry liqueur in the Paradise in the beginning that really offsets it from the original Angel Share. It makes it in the beginning, the opening, two totally different fragrances, in my opinion. Anybody who gets both of them and put them together in the opening, they are very different, but as they dry down, they get closer and closer together. Very nice fragrance, boozy apple pie. Next one, I'll stay in the kind of apple pie realm, and this is Oajan from Parfums de Marly. Now Oajan basically takes that apple pie type feel and minus the booze. This isn't a boozy fragrance at all. This is a straight apple pie type vibe. It's something that is very nice and one of my favorites from the House of Parfums de Marly. And I kind of put this as maybe this would be, I should have put it last since I already have it. Parfums de Marly was in here, that this would be kind of an honorable mention. But this is where I get to 11 because I had 2 from Parfums de Marly, and usually I would only do 1 from the house. But well worth it, well worth the mentioning of it. If you've never tried Oajan, I would suggest you try it. It is nice, especially if you don't like a boozy character, but you still want that apple pie kind of holiday dessert type feel. This is a great one to have. Next one we will go with is New Haarlem from Bond number 9. Now New Haarlem is very interesting, and the vibe that it gives is pancakes and maple syrup. You may not think that's something that you want to smell like. However, that pancakes and maple syrup vibe is very appealing to people who smell it in the air off your skin. It gets a lot of compliments, and it's really comforting and warm. So it's something that if you haven't tried it, get a sample, try it, see how people react to it, because this is one that I think everybody will like to smell and experience in the air. It is a great one. Now, off of it, it has lavender, bergamot, green leaves. In the mid, it's coffee and cedar. In the base, it's vanilla, patchouli, tonka bean, and amber. I don't know why it gives that kind of pancakes and maple syrup type vibe, but sometimes a lot of the notes, when they combine together in different concentrations and different amounts, they can give you a different feel for it. So there isn't a listed like maple note accord or a maple note. However, when you smell it, when it starts to dry down, it gives you a pancakes and maple syrup type vibe. Last but not least is Khaltat Night, and this is by the Attar collection, Khaltat Night. Now, this is another one that kind of takes the booziness out of it and is sort of in the realm of Oajan or Angel Share. Close, I guess you would say, to Oajan because it doesn't have a boozy note. But this adds to it the note of cherry. So it's kind of like a cherry apple pie mix type vibe that it gives to it. Very sexy, very reasonably priced. You can find it on discounters for probably under $100 type range. And this is one we've had people who I've mentioned it on the channel before, and people who have bought it because it's so reasonably priced, they blind bought it. And they came back and told me how much they liked it. Shout out to, I think, Siad Saint Meech. I think he got it after he saw it on the channel and loved it. This one is a hidden gem, and you should try to get your nose on Khaltat Night. It is a Middle Eastern brand, but of course it is relatively inexpensive. Like I said, it's under $100, but this is not a clone house or anything like this. It's a Middle Eastern brand that makes their own fragrances, and this one has been out for a while. I'm sure, I don't remember the exact year it came out, but I know it came out, I believe, before Angel Share, and it is basically taking that apple, cinnamon, adding cherry to it. The notes that are in here are very distinctly kind of what I said: cinnamon, cherry, vanilla, red apple, patchouli, white musk. This is a great fragrance. I well think this is worth you getting your nose on, especially if you like gourmand fragrances. So there you have it. gave you 10 plus an honorable mention of gourmand fragrances. If you want to be a snack, if you want somebody to eat you up, again, make sure you spray it in a place where you're not expecting to get eaten, and have fun with it. So if you like this type of content, again, I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're going to continue to bring some hidden gems, some niche houses that not everybody are talking about. We give a mix of basically designer, niche, and even inspiration. And we hope you like the content. Please leave some comments in the description, or leave some comments about what are your favorite gourmand fragrances. All of the comments I will answer, and we're not too big where we don't answer the comments that come to us. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. God bless.